Welcome to yet another fine edition of Potential for Greatness. I'm your host, Richard Horvath, as you know, and we have an exciting guest. Believe it or not, we have gotten Johnathan Tomlinson.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you being willing to come down here. It's a humble place. Thank you very much for having me on the show today.
Well, wonderful stuff. Now, Johnathan, there's no question that you have had a truly storied career. Just some notes I've taken. The great hunt for the Sasquatch. Isn't it true that it started the whole, for lack of another word, craze? Truly amazing work. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was the catalyst for Johnathan Studios from a pea-sized beginning. That movie, and again, as I've noted, won the infamous Cannes Film Festival amateur film category.
My specialty, of course, is making films and making people. I make stars. The fact that I become a star in the process is just a natural evolution of my own skills and abilities.
Now, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but for the benefit of our audience, once Johnathan Studios was started, that led to Sasquatch 2, Hunt for the Great Sasquatch. Now, what's interesting about that is it was nominated for a total of 11 Oscars.
The only thing that kind of stunk was, I lost to Gilbert Godfrey, and we know how awful a human being he is.
Well, I happen to like Gilbert Godfrey's work, but...
Yeah. You would like him.
That notwithstanding, let's talk about why you're really here. The new Sasquatch movie. Highly anticipated. 3 questions. How did it come about? Why did it come about? And what do you expect to happen?
Well, you know what? I'll answer those questions in the order that I like to. How's that sound? Wouldn't want to mess up your plan. But anyway, you ask why. You know, the time came. I want to build a new house in a new area of the world. I want to make some money. Well, that's why, you know. I mean, creatively, I have so many ideas. I remember I was talking with George Lucas one time at his divorce hearing, and he said to me, he says, you know, if I had 1/10 of your skill and ability, this wouldn't be happening today. And I said, you know what, George? That's right, it wouldn't. But nevertheless, as far as how, you know what, I think the time came, you know, DMack, he's finally come a long way as a filmmaker. I'll admit that I have no problem admitting that he has skills. But, I think I wanted to see what would happen if we collaborated again on a project. You know, he was afraid to get his feet dirty with The Unforgivable, with Lord of the Dance. So I had to take the weight of those projects on all by myself. I'm running a media empire here. I don't have time for all this foolishness. But, it's time to get some of these stars together. Let's get Dave in here, and just, we'll do with the project. And what do I expect to happen? Well, miraculous revelation.
Well, modest, aren't we? Okay, but here's what I think we all want to know. The title. I've heard conflicting opinions, rumors. Tell me about the title. Tell me. Give me something.
That is a good question. I'm impressed. Let's see here. The original plan for the title of the next film was originally going to be Sasquatch, Shadow of the Yeti. What do you think about when you think of shadows? You think of darkness. What do you think of when you think of darkness? Nothingness. That title had nothing to do with Sasquatch. Didn't work. Didn't work at all. Kind of like the U.S. judicial system. So I said, we need to go in a new direction. I said, we need to put this thing to rest. The Sasquatch in all my films has always been fat, eating on the bodies of animals found in the desert. So, he gets tired. He's taken many naps, many sleeps, many shadows. So he needs to sleep one last time. So that's why the name of this film is The Final Hibernation. He's going to hibernate his ambition to conquer the world. He's going to hibernate his desire to interact with the mutant beaver people that he helped create through years of inbreeding. That's why it's the title.
Ah, I see. That makes a lot of sense. Really deep, deep stuff. I'm sure our audience would agree. That is deep. Speaking of deep, DMack, I had a chance to visit him. I'm sure you've seen him. What an impressive specimen of a man he is. His workout regimen is beyond belief. Ivan, he hired the best. And he's in great shape. I mean, totally ready physically for the demands of this movie. The rigors. I'm looking at you, though, Johnathan, and don't take me the wrong way, but I gotta ask, what are you doing to prepare for this role?
Well, the bottom line is this. No matter what shape I'm in, I am the perfect human specimen. DMack, I'm sure he's working his butt off. He's going to other places, other countries. It doesn't really matter to me. He's going for he's thinking to himself, oh, I wasn't in good shape. I want to be in so great shape for this movie. I want to shake things up. I'm not looking to give in to the Hollywood Democratic conservative value system. I don't care about that garbage. I want to set my own standards. I was thinking to myself, I'm in such good shape during those movies I've made in the past. I said, I want to go like the route that Orson Welles went. I want to waste away and become huge. So the bottom line was, I just started, I would eat about a pound of bacon a day. I'd melt 3 pounds of butter. I'd soak the bacon in the butter. I'd eat the bacon, oh my God, and it'd be dribbling down my throat. And then I'd take my shirt off, soaked with butter, and I would squire the butter right into my mouth. Yeah, I gained about 50 or 60 pounds in 4 days. It was the greatest thing I've ever accomplished in my life. I am ready for this film, and I'm ready for more of your stupid questions.
Well, thank you, Johnathan. You definitely have no problem expressing yourself, and evidently no problem exposing yourself either, according to news reports. But I digress. Good stuff. Good stuff. I think our audience has a better view of you, and will be more likely to see this movie. I think we're all excited. And I would just like to say in conclusion, you're right. You're right about DMack. He is muscular. He is talented. He is the star. Yeah, you're right.
The star? The star? If you love DMack so much, why don't you marry him? This interview's over. I'm sick of these questions. You're gonna get out of my house. You're not keeping the Thin Mints on your pillow. Go back to the Hollywood hole you came from and say hello to Susan St. James for me.
Well, that was interesting. Thanks for coming, and next week we're going to be talking about...
What are you still doing here? I said get out of my house! Get out of my house, you piece of garbage! Get out of here, you sick of waste!
Johnathan, it is so good to have you. Now, I have wonderful ideas for how we're going to do this interview. First, I want you over there.
First, you're gonna shut your mouth. I invited you here. You look at your face.
Fortunately, but my counterpart did. What a fine specimen. Can't even say it. A specimen of a man DMack is. Have you seen him? I saw his workout preparations with Ivan. Is he for real? I mean, is he really existing? He's phenomenal. Phenomenal. I haven't seen anything like that since Brooklyn. But, now, being that he...
I didn't know where you were going with that.
Thanks.
4 words, huh? It's gonna be challenging. My mind is a dictionary waiting to be accessed. Let's see, 4 words. Well, muscular, horticulture, imbecile, talented,
Action?
Well, thank you for those viewpoints. You definitely aren't afraid to express yourself or expose yourself from some news reports.
Action?
Very interesting, Johnathan. Very interesting. You definitely have no problem sharing your. Well, that was interesting. Thanks for coming, and next week we're going to be talking about...
What are you still doing here? I said get out of my house! Get out of my house, you piece of garbage! Get out of here, you sick of waste!
Idiots.